Hello, everybody, and welcome back to TBO, everyone's favorite, somewhat relevant news related, sometimes review related, sometimes just random, whatever the fuck we want. This week's one is E3 2021.
Yeah, boy!
Yep. So you may have you may notice on Monday's episode of TFE that we don't have a gaming news segment. But that's because we stole it and we added it here. Because E3 was out and there's a lot of gaming news to talk about and a lot of gaming news to cover.
Yeah, and we're not running out of ideas, we're just, there's a lot of topics.
Yeah, we're not trying to pad out time because Dan's going away and we need to do different things to stretch it out. But no, E3. Dan, you didn't watch anything for E3, did you?
I did not, no. I
so
know
you're going into this
things,
completely blind.
Yeah.
Or at least somewhat blind. So, in terms of things you were looking forward to or things you wanted, was there anything?
Not particularly.
Because I know you're a PC player, so there's a lot of PC stuff coming out. There's not a lot of PlayStation, because PlayStation doesn't do E3 anymore. They do their own conferences throughout the year. But we did get some Microsoft news, Dan.
Okay.
Did you hear about any of that? I'm guessing no.
I know about the xCloud stuff, but I'm pretty sure that was last week's.
Maybe. Dan, have you heard of Starfield?
I have not.
So Starfield is a Bethesda, a new IP by Bethesda, which has been in development for about 25 years, according to Todd Howard, who owns or runs Bethesda.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, it's been a concept in the back of his mind for 25 years or something like that.
Okay.
But this is like a passion project for them, and apparently because of the technology at the time, they couldn't do it. So this has been a long time. And now with Xbox hardware, they can do it.
Oh, wow. So I'm assuming this is going to be like a fully...
No.
Oh.
Basically, game's been in the background for ages, and everyone who's a Bethesda fan's been pumped for it. And then they finally revealed something. And Dan, it wasn't gameplay, it was a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, what a surprise.
So we still don't know, we know some stuff about it. It's going to be an RPG from Bethesda. It's going to be an Xbox and PC exclusive from the Microsoft Store, which has left a lot of people pissed off because Sony players wanted this. And basically the developers and people behind Bethesda were like, well, there's not much we can do. Xbox owns us now, and we kind of have to cave to the wheels of Xbox. So,
luckily I have a PC, so I can play it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one of the big games that was announced. Well, not announced because it was already announced, but it's finally been revealed. We got a release date, November 11th, 2022.
Yep, and I guarantee it'll be pushed back.
It has been described as both a Skyrim in space and a Han Solo simulator.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's a space game, Dan. So you might like this one.
Maybe.
Because you like space. But
it's got a good story.
Bethesda tends to do stories all right. But if you watch the trailer, it's basically just a bunch of shots of the moon and a spaceship.
Yes.
And it's not interesting.
Riveting
I'm not
stuff right here.
Yeah, I'm not particularly interested in this game. I'm not really particularly interested in any of the Bethesda stuff that was released. And I mean, neither was I that impressed with, because I actually watched the Xbox and Square Enix E3 presentations live.
Really?
Yeah, they happen to be conveniently timed for the UK, so I was just like, well, I'll watch them.
Fair enough.
And I was just like, oh, this is kind of boring. None of this really interests me. There was a couple. We'll get to more stuff from Xbox and stuff, but we'll just run through some of the highlights, the big stuff. Elden Rings, Dan, we talked about that.
Yes, I actually want to play this in a way, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be bad at the game. But I want to play it anyway.
Yeah, so this is the From Software, George R.R. Martin, Hideaki Miyazaki collaboration. New, basically, Dark Souls game that looks pretty nice. We just got some more information about that. And yeah, not much more to say. We got a nice gameplay trailer, so if anyone wants to check that out, you can watch that. Get an idea of how badly you're going to get beaten to death a lot of times.
Just die constantly, again and again and again.
Dan, here's something you might like. So I watched this live, the Square Enix press conference, and Square Enix, who made the Avengers game, has now also revealed that they're making a Guardians of the Galaxy game.
I'm scared. Square Enix has not had a good reputation over the last two games.
Well, I like the Avengers game. I just don't like the fact that they deleted my save file and that I can go back and play what I had already played. So now I have to go and play everything all over again. And it's fine. But this one you play as Star-Lord, and you get to control the other members of the Guardians of the Galaxy when you're in combat. And it's got a story-focused campaign where your choices will affect the story. So it's kind of like a Telltale game where you have the option to, like, in the trailer they say, do you want to sell Groot or do you want to sell Rocket to, like, try and win the favor of some big, and then you'll eventually either break them out, and then I imagine the effect of which character you chose to sell when you break them out will have different consequences for the character that you still have. So, for example, if you're breaking Rocket out of prison, you'll have Groot, so Groot will be able to, like, rip open walls and stuff, or Rocket will blow them up, essentially, I imagine.
It sounds quite interesting. I also saw that there will be no DLC or microtransactions for this game.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it'll be paid DLC, because I'm sure they'll do DLC if it does well.
Possibly.
Because we got, speaking of the Avengers and Square Enix, we got a look at the Black Panther DLC.
I did see that.
For the Avengers game. That looks pretty good. And yeah, I'm looking forward to those. Dan, a game that we're not looking forward to because the movie is terrible. But we got Ubisoft has released that they're making an Avatar game, an open world Avatar game.
Yeah,
first person action adventure.
I mean, it might be good.
I mean, the world's the world's very nice to look at. I can't wait personally to have my tail hair sex organ go into all those weird creatures and all the other Pandorians, because that's how they fuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, would you play this game?
I think I would try it. I probably won't buy it full price, but if it's actually got good reception, then I might get it.
It doesn't look terrible, but apparently they got the Ubisoft got the Star Wars game that they're working on because of this game.
Oh, okay. I mean, the thing that concerns me is it's Ubisoft.
Yeah. It's open world. So
oh dear.
A lot of fetch quests. A lot of walking around endless, vast, open expanses of nothingness to get to one location. And then I think this is going to be interesting because they showed off flying combat.
Okay.
So there's like, those weird bird things that you, like dinosaur things that they have where you, like everyone jokes about, put your hair tail sex organ into their tail hair sex organ, and then they somehow have a connection because they fucked. And now you can control them. That's how they fuck, because that's how the do. But I want to know is, are they going to put everyone's favorite character, Jake Sully, in this game? Or is this going to be a prequel? Also, everyone got really upset because it was Avatar, and they wanted an Avatar The Last Airbender game, not Avatar The Frontiers of Pandora game. Oh boy. What are you doing? Dan's being raided at the moment. Something terrible's happening. I don't know what's going on. Dan looks panicked and worried and is all over the place.
Sorry, I just had a severe amount of motorcycles drive past my house.
Oh, wonderful.
And they're still going, but it's a bit quiet now.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Dan, do you like Mario?
Not really.
Do you like Rabbids?
Yes.
Do you like Mario plus Rabbids has a sequel announced?
It sounds interesting.
So, I think I saw, because I've not owned a Nintendo product for ages, and I haven't had a Switch or anything like that. Oh yeah, that was a thing. Everyone was super pumped that the Nintendo would reveal their Pro Switch version or whatever it was at E3.
And it didn't?
No, didn't happen. No.
What a surprise.
Yeah. We'll get to that. Because fuck Mario vs. Rabbids. It's just like, okay, it's those annoying Rabbids that everyone, for some odd reason, liked in the early 2010s. Is that when they came out? I hated them.
The Rabbids Go Home. Great game.
But yeah, this is like a turn-based strategy game, I think, from the looks of them when they do it. And it's just like, oh, cool. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't been really... Overall, this E3 was kind of disappointing. Because like, there was nothing that I was like super pumped about. There's a couple things that... Because everything's just delayed until like 2022. There's nothing coming out like this year that is super interesting. Like we got Battlefield, we got some other stuff coming out this year, but everything's more or less 2022. Oh yeah, the Square Enix Guardians of the Galaxy game is October 2021.
Oh, it's actually a game come out this year.
Yeah, so it's October 26, 2021. But yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I mean, there's not much. There's a lot of stuff being announced, like Xbox Halo Infinite multiplayer got a trailer, and they got like a walkthrough of that. It will be 120 frames per second, free to play for everyone. All of that sort of bollocks. I don't really care. I'm not a big Halo fan. Never have. Never been.
Once again, if it is good, I will try it, but I have my doubts.
Well, you can play it for free, Dan, so why not?
Oh, is it free?
You don't. Yeah, it's free to play separate from the actual game. The campaigns you pay for, and then, or if you have Xbox Game Pass, it's on there for free or whatever. And then you can. So basically, if you buy Xbox Game Pass, you can get both the campaign and the multiplayer for free, which is good.
Wow. I mean, I think Game Pass is a good service, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. I just don't need it.
No.
Because none of the titles on there, except maybe Destiny, if I want to play Destiny 2 with all the DLCs and everything included without having to pay extra, then I'd do it. But I already have bought all the DLCs because I'm a chump and I like paying for dumb stuff that makes me hate the game.
But it means you could, transfer progress onto your phone and play up every now and then.
Yeah, true. The Dishonored, Dan, do you know Dishonored?
I've heard about it.
Yeah, so they're making a vampire shooter called Redfall, which was revealed as an Xbox PC exclusive.
That sounds interesting.
So, yeah, it's an open world vampire shooter, because everything's open world.
Has to be like
and
this.
it will support up to four player co-op. Redfall pits you and your friends against powerful, ever-evolving vampires. And yeah, we got a cinematic trailer for that. Wasn't that into it. It's all right. They had a weird vampire lady with massive red hair or whatever it was. The guns look cool. Some of the abilities look cool from the cinematic trailer. It's not an actual gameplay trailer, so take it with a grain of salt. This may change, but Dishonored has a lot of cool abilities and stuff like that, so gameplay might be a lot of fun. And if it's in the similar vein to like Left 4 Dead, I imagine it will be something like that, but instead of zombies, it will be vampires.
I should look at this.
Yeah, it doesn't look terrible, but it's only Xbox and PC exclusive, so I'll never get to play it unless I play it on PC. And then Back 4 Blood, which is like the spiritual sequel to Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, is coming out as well. They showed off more gameplay for that, and it looks a lot of fun. Basically, if you like Left 4 Dead or whatever, you can do that. Outer Worlds 2 got announced. Forza got an announced release date, and it looks like a racing game.
Who would have thought? Forza's another racing game.
Yeah, they did this weird... It's set in Mexico, but they did this weird, talking live... Because you know when game developers do, here's how you play our game, and it's, oh boy, here's a lot of people talking about playing the game, and it's all stilted and really awkward dialogue, because that's not how people play video games. It's mostly a lot of swearing and yelling at each other about get over fucking... But yeah, it's always weird to see what studios think people talk like on gaming. And the Forza one it looks very nice. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think I'll ever play it. If I want to play a racing game, it looks too much like a Need for Speed game at this point.
I'm really not that much into racing games.
No, I like them. I want to get Gran Turismo when it comes out, but I mean, ultimately, I bought the last Gran Turismo and I never played it.
Yeah, I'm the same really. I did buy Gran Turismo Sport.
I don't want to play it though, but no one ever wanted to play, so I was just like, oh fuck, okay. It's more of a multiplayer game rather than just racing the AI, and no one wanted to play.
There's not really a campaign to it.
Yeah. Dan, Rainbow Six Extraction, which is a spin-off of the Rainbow Six Siege games, where you're fighting quarantine aliens in 4-person co-op, and you're going along the line. Dan's dog is barking in the background, so he's having a time of his life trying to mute his microphone to stop that coming up on there. He's raising his hands in the air like he just don't care at the moment. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing, Dan? Is it still going on?
It's okay now. It's okay for a moment.
Yay, wonderful. Just leave him in.
Leave it in? No,
leave it in. You can cut it out on your show. I'll keep it in on mine.
I know, that's the problem. Anyway, yeah, so this Rainbow Six game is an objective-based PvE game, I believe.
Yes. So basically, kind of like one of those, you go over, you're like in a small confined map. You have to go, like kind of like zombies maps, where you just go and do objectives, and then you have to get extracted out of them.
Might be interesting.
See-
Is it free or is it?
No, I think you pay. I think you pay for it. I don't think it is. Yeah, I think you have to pay. I think it's like 20. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Whilst I talk about Sea of Thieves is getting a Pirates of the Caribbean crossover.
Has this
So
actually
Sea of
got
Thie-
the actual voice actors?
No.
Oh, okay. Because
You think Johnny Depp? You think Johnny Depp's gonna fucking? They're getting rid of Johnny Depp for the fucking Pirates movies. They don't like Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's been cancelled because of his relationship with Amber Heard being so bad.
Yeah, but it just sounded very similar.
Well, that's called voice acting.
Yeah, I
man.
know, but a lot of them sounded very similar, and sometimes if you look at other places that do similar things, Avengers game, they can't get the
Yeah.
voices the same.
Yeah, well, I think they're trying not to, because they're trying to do their own thing, but then they try and make the characters look similar, and it's always a weird thing because people get very mad if you don't do exact likenesses of people or have the exact voice or whatever, because people are weird and can't accept that there are multiple different versions of multiple different characters. No, they want the one that they know and love to be in everything.
Which is why people might like this one.
But yeah, this is a free update to the game, so if you already own it, this is free. It's like a bunch of new story campaigns, a whole new original story with featuring Jack Sparrow and the Pirates of the Caribbean, and it will release June 22nd this year. So not that far away from where.
That's a couple of days.
Yeah, a couple of days from when we record this. But yeah, it's interesting. So, going on to things that look interesting but probably won't be, Just Cause developers reveal Xbox exclusive open world game called Contraband. So the Just Cause developers Avalanche Studios has revealed Contraband, a co-op open world game. Everything's open world, Dan. Coming exclusively.
That's the open world.
Oh yeah, also Xbox loved to just shove the fact that every game that they announced was coming to Xbox Game Pass day one.
Oh really?
It was at the end of every trailer. It's coming to Xbox Game Pass day one, so you don't have to buy it if you have Xbox Game Pass. And I get it. It was just constant at the end of every trailer, every fucking thing. It was just coming exclusively day one on Xbox Game Pass. They're just heavily pushing it. I get why, but it's interesting. But yeah, we got a cinematic trailer. No actual gameplay, no actual info really. It's a co-op smuggler's paradise set in a fictional world of 1970s Bayan. I think it's basically like a pirate, like a treasure smuggler sort of steely, find your Tomb Raider sort of game where you're just running around nicking contraband like drugs or something from people. I don't know. We don't have much.
Does it have crossplay? Have they said that or not?
It's co-op, so I don't know if it's crossplay yet. It's an Xbox and PC, so
I imagine it will be, because if most things on the Microsoft Store.
yeah, it'll be a crossplay between that, but no one else because it's Xbox. And Dan, have you played Microsoft Flight Simulator?
My computer's not powerful enough for it.
Yeah. They released that it's coming to Xbox.
That's not
Xbox
gonna run
Series
well.
X. Nope, and S. So
That's definitely not going to run well.
yep. Well, Microsoft has said that it will be streamed if they're working. Well, they're working on getting a lot of their games that are like next gen to stream, like via Game Pass or
That
xCloud.
makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know if that's their whole plan. But yeah, they released a Top Gun expansion. So if you ever want to play as Maverick from Top Gun in Flight Simulator, you can.
I think it'd be better if they just made it a kind of open source and allow people to just add their own DLC or whatever.
Yeah, but Dan, it's Microsoft and they want to own it.
It's true. They make more money.
This will release on July 2019. 2019. Oh my god, it's already out. No, 2021. But yeah, it's on Game Pass. So
of course
if you
it
want
is.
to play,
Everything is.
yeah. Dan, have you played any of the Far Cry games?
Not a single one.
So you won't have known any of the villains of the Far Cry series.
No, I don't.
So Far Cry 6 DLC will let you play as the series' infamous villains. So you'll be able to play a bunch of the villains in the game.
How does that work for continuity?
So plans include 3 episodes that each allow you to play as one of the series' infamous villains. The episodes will delve into the minds of the Far Cry 3's Vaas, Far Cry 4 Pagan, and Far Cry 5's Joseph Seed. The gameplay has been inspired by the roguelike genre, according to Ubisoft.
Ubisoft scare me.
Yeah. But this is a DLC that you can, if you want to play as the villains of the Far Cry series, you can. They also gave a bunch more details on Far Cry 6. Dan, you know Godfall.
I do know Godfall, and I kind of want to play it still.
Well, Dan, it's coming to PS4.
Oh.
Yeah. The PlayStation 5 exclusive game that was sold as like one of the most graphical heavy games coming to PS5 and was only PS5 and PC exclusive is now coming to PS4.
That's not going to run well.
It's
going to be a potato.
Well, maybe, but they also announced a new DLC coming for it as well. But yeah, you can now play Godfall on a PS4 if you want at some stage in the near future.
Yeah, I mean,
I
probably will.
I like the game. The game's good. I don't know how it's going to run on a PS4. Like, it is very
it might
taxing.
make use of AMD's new software.
Maybe.
Because they've got the new Fidelity FX, which they explicitly stated works with Godfall.
Yeah, I just find it funny that they made the bigger hype about it. Like, it's a PS5 exclusive. And now it's coming to PS4.
Well, soon to be, I think it's Xbox in a couple months.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it's only a timed exclusive.
Yes. Dan, Breath of the Wild 2. We've not played any Breath of the Wild 1. But everyone loves Nintendo and loves Breath of the Wild. It's Legend of Zelda, Dan.
Oh, that's what that is.
Yes.
You keep jumping up and down this list, and I'm just so confused.
Well, I'm just like, why not? We've got a lot of cover, and why not keep you on your toes?
Right now, we're just going through the IGN list of all the games, and then Danny just keeps jumping up and down, and I have no idea what these things are.
I'm going for the ones that actually are interesting. Like, Breath of the Wild is apparently one of the best games ever created on any platform or any fucking thing. And I'm like, okay. And now it's getting a sequel.
Neither of us own a Switch, so we can't play it.
No. And the one person I know who has a Switch would never play this, so I would never borrow it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, cool. We got a cinematic trailer. It's releasing in 2022. Now there's some sky stuff. You can travel the skies now of Hyrule. Yeah, I mean, neither one of us cares about this, but
no.
I'm adding it because I know a lot of people do care about it, and they're gonna get very mad at us for not caring about it. So
there's so many other ones as well we've just not mentioned. Probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's like Outer Worlds 2 is getting a sequel. That had the best trailer though. If you watch the trailer for that was a lot of fun. Because it basically made fun of all the tropes that like trailers make. So it's like, oh, a vast open world expanse, and it's like, you'll enjoy that. And then it's like a character silhouette that just shows the character and doesn't show any actual gameplay.
Ah, yes, makes perfect sense.
And it's like a calming voice that opens the trailer and opens to a vast world that you'll get to explore.
At least I can play it.
Yeah,
I can play all these games, apart from Zelda. And the Nintendo ones.
And it's like a giant monster that you'll be able to... Will you ever be able to fight it? Or is it just there because they wanted to show off something cool? But yeah, that's a thing. Jumping back to Nintendo, though, Dan. Metroid. A game that you only recently learnt was an actual genre of gaming. Metroidvania. Because of the Castlevania and Metroidvania.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Metroid, one of the original games, Dan, is getting another game. A side-scrolling game.
A side-scroller?
Well, yeah, that's the original version.
I suppose it was.
Side-scroll. Yeah. They had a first-person game, which I think's getting another sequel. So I think the original game was the original Metroid game that was announced was Metroid Prime 4, because Metroid Prime was like their 3D Metroid games. And then Metroid Dread is the new one that they showed off, which is the side-scroller thing. And yeah, it looks interesting. I mean, I'll never play it because I don't own a Nintendo Switch, and I don't super care about it. But it's something that was released and people are excited about.
Well, you know what? I need to get a good game for me to get out of my Rocky Eagle Destiny comfort zone.
Well, Dan, here's a game that you'll love. WarioWare. Get it together. You know Wario?
This sounds
Mario's-
terrible.
Well, they have loads of them. They're like mini game. You know,
Oh.
like mini games. Yeah, it's just a shit ton of mini games, and you play as like characters from the Wario franchise.
Who
There's
who
been a
wakes
lot-
up and goes, I want to play as Wario?
A lot of people apparently, because they do quite well.
Oh.
But they're just a bunch of mini games, Dan, and they're weird and crazy, and you don't know what the fuck's going on. And it's on the Wired one, Dan. If you're looking for the trailer,
The Wired one.
the Wired article. Because I know it's not on the IGN one.
Ah, yes.
If you want to watch some of the trailer for that. Dan, have you ever played Age of Empires?
No, I have not. I've heard of it, at least.
Yeah. Well, they're making a new one, 4.
Really?
You sound so interested. Uh, I love that you don't care about any of this shit.
I'm trying my best here.
No, it's perfectly fine. I have the same feelings to a lot of the stuff that was announced. Like, none of it really interests me. But I want to talk about it because it's like, why not?
Actually,
It's
the Metro
E3.
Dread trailer looks interesting to me.
Yeah, it's a
That looks cool.
And apparently there's a moment where there are like these unstoppable robots that you have to run away from, and then you can only defeat them by like running to get like a certain weapon, and it's a one-time use weapon. So, and then you can defeat the robot, and then another one will come eventually during the game, and you'll have to run to find another weapon. So like it adds the dread element.
Right.
Where you're like, where you can't get away from something unless you have this one specific weapon, but it's a one-time use only.
Can I say this WarioWare trailer looks terrible?
Well, yeah, it's minigames, Dan. Everyone loves how terrible they are.
Yeah, but they can be good minigames looking. This just looks terrible.
Yeah, but that's the aesthetic of Wario. It's terrible, ugly little fat man with a mustache that's meant to be. Apparently, isn't Mario's clone? It's his cousin.
Oh.
It's in canon that Wario is Mario's cousin, and Waluigi is just his friend that he hired to play tennis. Oh, Waluigi, not Luigi. Waluigi is just Wario's friend that he hired to play tennis for the tennis mini games. That is canon.
That's so stupid.
That is Nintendo's canon for those two characters. Is his cousin and then his friend, the cousin's friend who plays tennis with him. Dan, I think that's all of the interesting stuff from E3. We also got that Among Us is getting a 15-player lobby from that.
Actually, that could be quite interesting. That'd be quite good.
It's out. June 15th.
Oh, it is out.
Yeah, it's out already.
Might
You
make
can
it more
get it.
popular again now. Actually, that would work quite well with the new map, because the new map's massive.
Yes, I think that's why they did it, for that new map. But if you watch people play it on the smaller maps, it's just chaos.
Yeah, I suppose you can't kill anybody, can you? You can't kill anybody.
You could, but you just have to be clever about it.
Yeah,
Roll in a
have
squad of-
loads of tasks.
Because you get free killers.
Yeah, you have to
for-
3.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Among Us news.
Good old Among Us.
Also, you got a bunch of new colors and character skins and stuff like that.
Do you know what? I want to play it again, but no one else wants to play it, so I'm just on my own. I can't play it on my own.
You can, Dan. You can just join public lobbies and hate yourself because people are stupid.
Yeah, I'm not doing public lobby.
And as soon as people don't get the killer, they just back out.
Once I did a public lobby, and then I was the killer. I was with the other guy, and the other guy killed him, and I was nowhere near, and then it just got rid of me, and I was like, why? Why have you just got rid of me?
Yeah. Also, they're sometimes full of bots who just walk around. And speaking of bots, Dan, we got some more information on Battlefield 2042. And because they're expecting that people aren't going to play this game, they're going to use bots to fill the servers, so your matches are always full.
Thinking ahead, nice. I believe they also
Yeah.
revealed the gameplay trailer during E3.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
No, but I didn't see the gameplay trailer last week. That was just
Oh,
the reveal trailer.
gameplay. Yeah. It looks chaos,
What did you
As
expect?
as most Battlefield games are, but massive maps. Battlefield 440. Fucking hell. Battlefield 2042 supports 128 players on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series S and X, while the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version of the game supports 64 players. I don't know if they're going to do crossplay between platforms, like PS4, PS5, because if they're doing 64 lobbies, 64 player lobbies
you
for
can.
PS4, yeah, that's what I mean. They can't do it if they. So I imagine Xbox and PS. Also, this game seems to have like 100 different versions of the game because
Why?
it's EA. Like you can get I can't remember what it was, but there's like there's like a bunch of different versions of this game for like stuff you can get. It's weird. Hang on, let me look up how many different versions are there. Right. Well, I don't know. There's someone was saying there's a lot. I don't know. 100% no. This may just be taken out.
Maybe, you never know.
Speaking of things being taken out, though, Cyberpunk 2077 is finally returning to the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, are you going to buy it?
No.
Why not? It's Cyberpunk. It's,
Well, apparently they're still saying if you have it on the PS4 version, it's still going to be broken. So,
I mean, yeah. that game just never ran.
No, it didn't even run well on PCs that were designed to run it.
No, it's just it's the next Crisis. That's what it is.
Well, it was meant to be, but Crisis actually ran.
Not the first time it didn't.
Yeah, but they were making it. Yeah, well, they were okay, yeah, I get your point.
Yeah.
Crisis also is apparently getting a trilogy bundle for next gen consoles and stuff like that.
There's only one Crisis game.
No, there's Crisis 1, 2, 3.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, Crisis is just the benchmark as like because they dumbed down Crisis because they put it on consoles.
Right.
So basically, Crisis 2 and 3 were on consoles, so they dumbed down the graphical capabilities and didn't make them as fancy. And Crisis was here's the benchmark for what a computer should be able to do at graphical max settings. And then they've now they've released the upgraded. Here's what it could do if you have even more powerful computers.
Yeah,
and
but even then, that's not so bad nowadays because computers are powerful.
But yeah, if you want to buy Cyberpunk, Dan, it's on June 21st. It's coming back to the PlayStation Store. And yeah, I mean, if people want it, they can get it. But
it's up to them.
I mean, yeah, if you want to subject yourself to disappointment again, why not? Pay. I imagine it's going to be full price. So if you want to pay, imagine if they brought it down to like 20 quid or something.
There's no chance. They still need to make money on that game.
They need. I was like, maybe they'd be nice and drop down the price, or put it in the PlayStation Plus sales that are going on, or something like that. No, they'll just charge you full price if you want to buy it.
I don't know what's happening with the online version.
Oh, they cancelled that.
Oh, that's it. It's
$20. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they cancelled that because they were like, well, we're not going to do it anymore because no one can play our game at the moment, so we're going to fix that.
I mean, I understand games have bugs, but they have that many. They must have just rushed all the testing phases. Ran through it all.
Well, from what I can tell about a game is always going to launch with bugs.
Yeah.
That is just inevitable because you can't scale the testing process to the amount of people who will play it.
True.
Because for a small not a small developer, but for even like AAA studios, they get say they get 1,000 people to test for bugs, and those people find some bugs that they can find and they can do. But when you scale that up to millions of people playing your game all at once, and all of those people finding bugs all at the same time, all doing different things that would cause bugs, it's hard to scale for that. Like, I get why
But I'm more saying, like, in the development process, they should have done more testing during the development rather than just at the end.
Yeah, but you can't really test for stuff because you can build. Games are always broken. Games are just
you always have alpha
together.
Phases. Like you can tell.
Yeah. But even then, you can't test for everything.
No. I mean, I'm not saying there should be no bugs, but there's an excessive amount.
Oh yeah,
which I'm pretty sure they skipped a lot of the testing.
But that's because video games are like Frankenstein stitched together monsters.
Yeah,
where it's like 40 different studios or like development teams working on it, and they're sending it off to third-party developers to build certain assets and stuff like that, and then they're stitching it back together. And you're like, example, if you hold down triangle for too long, sometimes it might just explode a box. Who knows? You can't really test for that sort of stuff because why would people be looking for it?
Yeah.
Like, it's controlled testing, but you then put it into the public where the public is just trying to break your game for clips on YouTube. You can't really test for it.
No. But
it's like every broken gun in COD. It's like, oh, it works in the like centralized testing of our current development. You put it out into the public and people put 1 billion attachments on it, and then it fucking kills people like it's like unstoppable. It's very hard to test on the scale that games actually are. because you can't test for it. You can pay because you have to pay people to test your game. So if you're paying 1 million people to play, that's why they do demos and stuff like that, so they can get people to break their game, basically.
Yeah,
And then-
but I don't think Cyberpunk had a demo, did they? Basically, they just skipped a lot of it.
Yeah, but even then, demos come out way too late in the development cycle.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
need to do demos like ages before.
It needs to be in the alpha
And then-
phase, really.
Even before that, they need to do
Well,
it
no,
once
al-
they
alpha
have
phase is like the first stable release. Not stable,
Yeah.
I mean, like as soon as they have a playable game.
once they have a playable thing, they can test it. But even then, a lot of demos change after their thing. But it's interesting. But well, things going offline and online. Dan, do you remember GTA Online?
I do.
Do you remember playing it on the PlayStation 3?
No, I never had a PS3.
Or well, it's a shame because it's shutting down on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360.
I mean, fair enough. I don't know why people still have PS3s nowadays, really.
I still have mine.
But do you
I
still
still-
play online games on it?
No.
Exactly.
Because a lot of the servers are shut down. Which is a shame because there's some games that I'd like to play. You can still play COD lobbies on there though, and they're horrible because everyone's figured out how to hack them and bug.
oh yeah, old
make-
COD lobbies are the worst.
Yeah.
Never
And
wanna go
it's
on those
just
ones.
nightmare. Also, I don't have a decent microphone, so I can't talk to anyone. I mean, I do online PS3, and you can't buy like PS3 headphones.
No, you can't buy PS3 headphones, you're right.
Yeah.
But continuing on
Yeah.
the Sony news and our last topic, there's actually been a PS5 VR headset leak, and it's actually quite interesting detail. So, detailed that they're looking into having an OLED panel for contacting with Samsung, and they've actually got a possible release date as well. The display says it will be an alleged 4000 by 2040 pixel resolution, which is more than most panels in TVs.
Yeah.
It's
But,
nearly
I mean,
4K.
Well, they want to. They want to try and compete with like Oculus and HTC.
Yeah, of course it's
And
going to be
because
USB-C
they have
as well,
Yeah.
which is expected to have USB-C. That's why the USB-C
And
front panel on the PS5.
Yeah. Well, the Sony original VR headset is one of the better selling ones.
Because it's cheaper.
Because I think Oculus owns like most of the market, but the PlayStation 1, because the amount of people who own PS4s and the price of it, like a lot of people
Yeah.
did go out and buy it. I bought it, you bought it.
Yeah, I mean, I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
The Beat
I
Saber's
just
great.
need to- yeah. It's good exercise as well.
Yeah,
Like you're actually actively doing stuff.
but that
Is
sums up
all
it.
for E3
It is.
basically. Not a lot this year, sadly.
No,
But I imagine that's because a lot of games were meant to come out this year, then got all delayed because of COVID.
yeah, I
and-
really wish they talked something about Jedi Fallen Order too, because I'm not sure
Yeah.
that's been confirmed yet, even though it's had, like massive amount of sales.
I think there is work. They are work. I don't know because
It's not
EA lost
confirmed.
EA lost the license, didn't they?
I think so.
Or it runs out at some point by the time all the other ones come out.
Yeah, which
So,
is
like,
a shame because it was a
Ubisoft's
really
one.
good game.
I'm sure they will make a sequel because they made a lot of money off that, and it kind of revitalized EA's stance on, oh, maybe we should do single player games.
Yeah, well, a lot of people liked. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
It got me back into single player games, and I didn't think I would enjoy it, but I did.
I need to play it. I just haven't gotten it yet because I don't have the time to play. Like, basically, kind of looks kind of difficult combat wise because it's like you have to time stuff, and I'm terrible at that to like bash things back.
Right.
But yes,
Well,
that was it. E3 2023, 2021, 2023. That's 2 years from now.
I think it's time. I think it's time. I mean, I know it's still we've just reached the afternoon and we're recording this, but I think it's too tired.
Nah. But yes, it wasn't the best year. There was a lot of stuff that was announced, but none of it really interested either of us.
No,
It wasn't. I'm sure for some people out there, this was the best E3 that they could ever imagine. If you're an Xbox fan, everything's coming to Game Pass, so you're fucking rolling in it.
Get Game Pass and get every single game ever.
Yeah, it was just a lot of stuff that was announced was kind of either stuff we already knew about or kind of IPs that aren't like the Avengers game is probably not the Avengers game. The Guardians of the Galaxy game is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, but it's Square Enix. I'm scared for Square Enix.
See, I like Square Enix. I like the Avengers game. So also it's a different studio. It's Eidos Montreal.
Which was the
Ralph-
one who did The most recent game.
What, the Avengers?
No, the other one. The most recent one.
Yeah, the Avengers one.
No, there's another one before that. They've released another one.
What?
They've released another one.
What, the Avengers game?
No, another one. Another one after that. Outriders.
And I don't know who fucking did that. Outriders is apparently really good, and I enjoyed the demo.
Oh, I've heard mixed reviews of it.
Yeah, but that's because people don't like that genre. It's Destiny, but it's infinite bullets or infinite health because it basically plays differently to Destiny, because Destiny's all about cover and hiding yourself and stopping yourself getting shot from distance and like not running in straight away. Whereas this is you have to run in because you get health back from killing enemies at every time.
Yeah.
So you gotta play it aggressively to get your health back, because the enemies will swarm you if you try and play defensively. So people don't like that element of it, but if you play it right and you actually go in aggressively, you can do pretty well. And I like playing aggressively, so I think that playstyle for me would work really well. It's a lot of fun. From the demo I played, it was great. I just didn't have the time in my life to play and pay for the actual game.
Anyway, that's it.
That is E3 2020. I keep doing it. I keep saying the wrong fucking... It's E3, and then my brain goes E3 2023, because it's like, oh, it's got to end on a free to rhyme. And I'm like, no, it's E3 2021. God damn it. That is it. That is all of the stuff that we either saw, were interested in, didn't care about, and other things. And we'll see you for next year's E3.
Yes.
In a year. And then maybe there'll be something actually interesting, because hopefully all of the development will actually...
Yeah.
And we'll have PlayStation 5s, and everyone will have a PlayStation 5 by then, and everyone will actually be able to play next-gen games, rather than have them all delayed because of COVID. But we'll see you then. Have fun, everybody.